It's a Champions League draw that evokes plenty of memories for Manchester United. What was your reaction to it then?
I was thrilled that we were in that draw and we're in the quarter-final of the Champions League. And after, when we were 2-0 down a week or so ago to Olympiacos, I don't think there was many people actually putting us through into the quarter-final draw. So, in a lot of ways, it didn't matter who I drew, but I've got to say I've probably drawn out the favourites and obviously the holders of the competition as well. So it's a really tough draw for us, but one I'm looking forward to.
How much of a difference does the complexion of the time make Old Trafford first and then in Munich?
Well, I think if you're old-fashioned, I think you would say you always want to be at home in the second leg, and I've got to say that would be the preference. It would be. But I think the way the games are going now, counter-attack football, a different approach by teams away from home. I think that we've got it. That's the way the draws came out. We're at home in the first leg, away in the second leg. We just have to take it.
Wednesday was a good night. The only kind of blip or fly in the ointment was Robin at the end. What's the situation?
Well, we're getting him rescanned again today. We're not just quite conclusive in everything we've seen yet, so we want to just check that out and be sure. He won't be available for tomorrow's game, but we'll try and give you some update as soon as we can on the outcome of it.
After that game, David, you said that you feel like people always ask you when you win about turning the corner or anything like that, but in terms of that victory,
are you going to ask me?
No. I alluded to it, but I won't ask you that directly. But in terms of that result, what sort of a platform does it give you now ahead of 2 games in quick succession?
Well, we'll get a lot of games coming up. It's one thing. We need to make sure that the squad's ready for all the games and available. That's big for us that we have our players fit and available. I think that's important. And we'll look forward to them. We go into them now, as I said before, there's no guarantee that one result definitely leads to another, but you'd rather have a good result than a bad result, and we got a really good result in midweek, so hopefully we can build on that.
How do you find that consistency?
Well, how do you find it? Well, you find it by winning again and moving on and moving to the next game, and that's the consistency we've been looking for. There's been periods this season where we've gone 5 or 6 games unbeaten, and we've maybe drawn the next game or whatever it's been. So we've had periods like that this season. It's not been that we've not done it.
What sort of a challenge will it be then at West Ham with the way Sam Allardyce has got his team playing in the second half of the season?
Well, I think Big Sam, I think he's just won Manager of the Month. I don't know if that was his curse last week or if it's still to come this week. But he's done great. He was in a low league position and he's turned them around. But I don't think anybody should be surprised by that because you look at what he's done with his teams in the Premier Leagues over the years. He's always had hard-working, competitive teams. And teams would get results, and that's why he's been so successful.
David, it seems a bit strange that you're reflecting on another fantastic European performance, because at the start of the season people were turning around and saying it's the Europe where David Moyes does not have any experience. This is where he's getting all the good results this year.
Yeah, nearly everybody asked me the question, that I was inexperienced and I didn't have any Champions League experience. And I was amazed that none of you people asked me that question the other night there. Must have slipped your mind. But look, I said before that I'd watched enough games, I'd seen enough Champions League football and hopefully watched so much football that I know a bit about it. But I got help from a lot of people around me. I said I would do that, and thankfully we've got ourselves to the quarter-finals, but the aim's now to get to the semi-final.
Nevertheless, you won 3-0 at home in Europe in the same week as you've lost 3-0 at home in the Premier League. Do you know which team is going to go out from one game to the next? Because it seems a lot of fans do.
I agree with that. I think that our form hasn't been consistent enough, or our performances haven't been consistent enough. I think we've shown some really top performances and then some really low performances, and obviously we've got to get better at that. But it's going to take time. We're not going to be able to do everything immediately. And I think that because of the period we're in, I think that is happening a little bit. So a very good one, maybe a bad one at times. And my job over the coming years is to make sure that we get rid of that.
And what was your feeling as you were walking off the field on Wednesday night compared to the one on Sunday? What is that walk like when you go from one extreme to the other?
Well, I think the big thing was that I could look at the supporters in the face after the game on Wednesday night, because I thought that we had given them something to shout about. We had nothing to be ashamed of our performance. In some other games I've felt ashamed because team haven't played well enough. I've not got a team out which has got a good enough result.